Hi guys, I'm back. So it's still day 7, and I have my spectacles on now because I'm a bit blind and it's getting dark. It's evening time here in good old California. But I've got the chat today, you guys. I've got the chat. I'm such a goober. Anyway, I'm feeling chatty and I just want to help people learn all the little weird things I've learned, right? I've been doing this for a while. So depending on your situation, I'm a single girl in America. I don't have children. I was a nanny for a really long time, but I don't have my own kids. And because of that, I'm also fairly busy. I've got 3 jobs. And uh, so I kind of I'm, I don't want to say I'm lazy, but convenient food, you know what it is? It's convenient. And so sometimes when I've got the luxury of time, I'll do all like a bunch of meal prep and home cooking. But otherwise, guys, sometimes I just need stuff kind of already done for me because if I don't have smart options available, I will not eat smart. And I think that's kind of a given. I don't feel like this is a big secret. Uh, like this is not news. I feel like that's true for probably all of us. So today we're going to do a special little video talking about my friend Hungryroot. Mind you, I've got you know, I think I've got like 12 subscribers now. So this is some small potatoes action. I'm not there. I'm not in any way affiliated with these companies I talk about, or these products I talk about. I just am sharing to you yummy things I like, yummy things that have worked for me, convenient, that have made my journey to healthy eating easier and more delicious. So what's not to lose? So with Hungryroot, guys, I just want to share a few of my favorite things and kind of how I navigate this website if you ever want to try it out, okay? It's very convenient. They have an amazing customer service policy. That's one of the reasons I really like them. If there's ever a problem with your food, it arrives bad, you're just not satisfied for any reason, you just check the items off in your account and say this one sucked, or the blueberries weren't ripe, or the blueberries were overripe. Not that I'm getting blueberries right now, but you get my point. Or the shrimp bag was cut and leaking, whatever it is. You just click the items that were wrong and they instantly refund your account. You don't even have to talk to a human being. Like their customer service is on point. So that's huge. Back in the day before I was eating clean, I used Factor, and although it was convenient and tasty, it's all loaded full of crap, guys. And I actually got decently sick eating that food. I'm not throwing Factor under the bus. I'm just saying that I'm very sensitive to additives and preservatives in food. That's all I'm saying. Okay. But Factor, I will say, the customer service, we'll just call it non-existent. Challenging, not ideal. When you did actually ever luck out in getting a human, they were okay, but it was like almost impossible to navigate getting things done. So anyway, the point is, I'm not trying to throw Factor under the bus, but if you're here trying to eat carnivore, you're not eating that stuff anyway, so this should be fine. But Hungryroot has actually a lot of really good carnivore options, and I feel like the prices are pretty on point. I've done some major price checking to grocery store to delivery, and it's pretty fair. And it also saves you time and energy and temptation by not having to go to a grocery store, and just brings all that happy camping food to you. So, Hungryroot. What's cool about this is you can do recipes or groceries. So if you go to the recipe section, you can search by favorite protein, nutrition, whatever. Okay. But to be honest, I don't do recipes anymore at all, because you know what, guys, they're going to try to make you eat plants. That's just it. A balanced diet, according to most people, is got a whole bunch of plants and grains in it. So these days, I just bypass that little section altogether. I hit groceries, and it just brings you into the groceries, and it's awesome because it's just like shopping aisle by aisle. You go to produce, snacks, sweets, drinks, dairy and eggs, bread and bakery, cereal and oats, meat and seafood, plant-based proteins, yada yada, sauces, condiments, grains, pastas, pantries, sides, kids, supplements, and meals. They have like pre-made meals. I exclusively shop in the dairy and eggs, meat and seafood, occasionally produce, occasionally sauces, occasionally snacks. Okay. But if you hit the meat and seafood, it's going to show you all that they got. And here are a few of my favorite things. So, highly recommend the seasoned grilled chicken breasts, right? What's nice is they're done for you. They're super tender and juicy, really delicious. 26 grams of protein, low fat, 2 grams of fat. So have a fat source when you're eating this. But it's just chicken breast, olive oil, sea salt, garlic, black pepper. Done. That's it. There's no crap in it. Okay. So you can trust their grilled chicken. So you get 2 breasts that are already cooked for you. They freeze great. So buy a bunch and just throw them in the freezer and then put them in the fridge day before you want to eat them. You're good to go. Okay. They have some pretty good pre-made beef patties. They usually come in 2 packs. They have tavern burgers that are kind of have some Worcestershire sauce and whatever already seasoned for you. And all the pre-made burgers are good. I would just caution you against getting the pre-made burgers just because you're going to get a better deal if you just get that pound of ground beef and make those burgers yourself, okay? They do have a lot of different chicken options. What's kind of cool is there's this company called Roti, Roti, that has sous vide chicken pieces that you can get in chili, lemon, or salt and pepper, and you can get them in a big size or a small size. The small size is cool because it's way cheaper and it's like, I don't know, this big, and you can try it out. So maybe I don't know if I like the chili lemon flavor. You can just try it out and see what you think. They're not overly seasoned, which I also like because then you can add your own salt. What I don't like is getting a protein that's like aggressively oversalted. That's not fun. Their Plainville Farms oven roasted turkey breast and chicken breast are both really good. I think the turkey breast has 1 more gram of protein per serving, which is, yeah. The chicken breast, the sliced deli chicken breast by Plainville Farms has 1 less gram of protein than the turkey. So I usually get the turkey, 50 calories for 2 slices, 11 grams of protein. They do add native potato starch, which technically is a sugar, but it's so minimal that they don't have to list it in their ingredients. So I wouldn't be overly concerned. I also tend to only eat deli meat occasionally as just kind of a treat, like a mix up, just to mix things up so you don't get bored. They've got grass-fed beef sirloin steaks. A lot of their meat, if not all of it, is grass-fed, which I also really appreciate. You can get fully cooked beef short ribs. I think these are pretty chillin' too, y'all. They've got, again, there's sugar, but it's at the end of the ingredient list where it's so minimal that they don't have to put it. It's not in the nutrition label. It still shows 0 grams of sugar. But boneless beef short ribs, beef too, which is cool because sometimes it'd be pork and beef. We all know beef is king. Dehydrated onion, salt, natural beef flavor. Now there is caramel color, so this isn't a super clean one. But again, if you kind of just need to spice up your life, that reminds me of the Spice Girls. Dun, 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 spice up your life. Anyway, if you need to spice up your life, just get some short ribs, okay? They do sell the Kevin's. I love Kevin's Natural Foods. He makes some really rockin' chicken things like the lemongrass chicken and the coconut chicken and the Korean barbecue chicken are my favorite. But since I'm super clean right now and I'm not really doing sauces like that, I'm not doing Kevin's right now. I probably will in the future though. Look at this. Thai style coconut chicken. Let's read the ingredients, right? 21 grams of protein. There are 3 grams of sugar, but it's monk fruit, guys. Okay. The only reason I would stay away from things like this is if you're trying to go strict carnivore, you don't want to deal with citrus extract, yeast extract, black pepper, cultured onion juice, coconut water, lime juice concentrate, tapioca starch, yeast extract, xanthan gum, right? So it's not a clean food, but it's still better than a stick in the eye. Okay. So if you're like in a dirty carnivore transition phase, or you are, can eat a little more liberal, I do recommend Kevin's Natural Foods. All of the chicken comes sous vide, so it's tender and juicy. It comes in kind of a chunk, and then you kind of break it up. I usually cut it into nice bite-sized pieces. Sear it really quick in your skillet. Add the sauce till it's a little bubbly and incorporate it, and you're good. I used to eat it with a big old side of rice and broccoli, but we're not doing that anymore. Anyway, it's good enough on its own. Okay. I will say the Korean barbecue style chicken is quite nice too. That's probably my second favorite. The lemongrass is really good too. But again, it's got some extra stuff in there. They all have about 3 grams of sugar. So you just have to know that going in. Okay. They have really pretty decent breaded chicken nuggets. I'm just not doing bread anymore. And it's got junk in it and it's 19 carbs. So actually forget to mention that. They do an Applewood smoked pork bacon. I don't love it. I find it boring. I don't think it's a particularly grand tasting bacon. It's not cheap, and it's kind of a small pack, so don't bother. Here's the trick about the grilled chicken breast. The plain grilled is great. The blackened is delish. The blackened is my favorite. It just has a little more zhuzh. You know what I'm saying? A little more something special. But read your ingredients, folks, because if you look at the Mediterranean grilled chicken breast, there's maltodextrin. And homie, don't play that. I don't know if you guys know much about maltodextrin. I did a big research study on it a while back when I was first trying to get off sugar. And dextrins, dextrose, maltodextrin, they all are chemicals that basically trigger the brain into thinking, I'm getting something sweet. I'm getting sugar. That's what it says to your brain. But it doesn't deliver sugar. Okay. And then your brain's like, where's my sugar? Where's my sugar? Where's my sugar? So these things addict you to the food and spike sugar cravings. So can we just all see why that's not a good thing? I think so. So don't get the Mediterranean grilled chicken breast because it does have maltodextrin in it. And I don't do dextrins, people. I don't do dextrose either. Okay. They have a hot smoked roasted salmon, and they also have a blackened roasted salmon. It's like smoked salmon. And those are both really good, pretty clean ingredients. They do, this I will say is pretty fly. So remember the roti, R-O-T-I chicken I was telling you about? They do a lemon pepper half chicken. And it is, it's kind of like getting a half a rotisserie chicken that you get at the grocery store, but much cleaner ingredients, guys. You got to be a little, rotisserie chickens at grocery stores are very convenient and they're tasty. Okay, I get it. But you guys, they're often from like little baby chickens that barely had time to live, that weren't treated in humane conditions, and they're just, and they're usually full of crap and injected with crap. Okay, so just take my word for it. This has chicken with chili pepper, lemon peel, mango powder, green onion, turmeric, citric acid, salt. Okay, we all know what those things are. Perfect. So I do highly recommend, if you like a bone-in chicken situ, the lemon pepper half chicken is fly. It's good. Okay. I don't get the meatballs because, if I remember correctly, they have fillers. Let me check. Yeah, breadcrumbs. So we don't do the meatballs. We just buy the ground beef and make our own meatballs. They have a very good 8515 ground beef. It's very high quality. It's very tasty. It looks like real meat. It tastes like real meat. It's not fake meat. It has the texture of real meat. You guys, some of these grocery store meats, I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's Frankenstein food. Okay, it's like 3D printer chicken and creepy, crumbly, I don't know what is put in this, filled into this, but it is not like actual meat. So just be wary of that, okay? You do want to, you don't need to get grass-fed, grass-finished everything, but you do want to be eating actual meat. So just pay attention. If it doesn't seem right, it ain't right. Okay, they do have grilled boneless pork chops. I'm not a huge pork chop person, but pork, water, sea salt, garlic powder, black pepper, done. 23 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat. I mean, 1 gram of carb. So you can't go wrong with that. They have pre-sliced up chicken breast strips. They have a thin cut beef strips. I haven't got the chicken, but I do occasionally get the thin cut beef strips. I throw them in a skillet. Here's what I like it. For breakfast, it's so fast, you guys. If I just want steak and eggs, kind of, I will just throw those thin cut beef strips into my skillet. You can add some fat if you want, bacon fat, butter, whatever you want. Season it with a little steak seasoning or whatever. If you're a seasonings person, if you're not, that's fine. And literally 1 minute on each side, it's done. Done. And then you got steak for breakfast, and it's convenient, and you can mix it into your eggs, however you want to roll with that. Okay. They have a nice quality lean ground turkey. They've got, this one's pretty cool. Mighty Spark makes a tomato basil garlic ground chicken, which, if you're one of those making a pizza out of ground meat people, which I'm about to be, I have the ingredients. I'm going to experiment with one of those recipes this week or next week, probably. Anyway, if you're trying to make a pizza crust out of ground meat, as you've seen is kind of a thing, a trend right now, tomato, basil, garlic, it's got pizza flavors built in. It's pretty simple ingredients also. There's one carb, which I think is completely fine. No sugar, chicken, tomatoes, basil, garlic, vinegar powder, salt, and rosemary extract. That's it. So you can smash that all down, make your crust, and add your toppings. And then you got yourself some carnivore pizza. They do have some nice cuts of steak, New York strips, ribeyes, Wagyu, all that, but it's not the most cost effective, I'll be honest with you. I tend to get the ground beef and the ground meats and the other things they offer, the pre-cooked proteins, before I would get those things, just for savings. If I'm going to buy a bunch of steaks, I'm going to go to Costco, I'm going to go to a local rancher, I'm going to go somewhere else, okay? But I do occasionally get them. They do ground bison. Nice clean ground bison. We're getting to, they have a shaved beef steak, but I got to tell you, I don't like it near as much texturally as I do those thin cut beef strips. So stick with the thin cut. They got a grass-fed ground lamb. Now, this is one of the loves of my life, okay? Fully cooked, seasoned beef sirloin steaks. You get these two little precious steaks that are already cooked for you perfectly. You slice them open, and they're the perfect kind of medium pink. And they're very tasty. And how I roll with that is I do not heat these up, guys. They're perfectly cooked. I'm not trying to overcook them. So I just slice them into beautiful slices, whack-a-doodle some of that Malden flaky sea salt on it, and call it a day. If I'm feeling saucy, I will put a little dollop of sour cream or maybe some tzatziki or like a blue cheese some dip or something. But honestly, they're so good by themselves. You just need salt. Sour cream's kind of nice. Kind of like, I like tri-tip dipped in sour cream too. It's a thing. Anyway, so highly recommend those. Super tasty. Here's what I don't want to say warn against. The True Story organic oven roasted chicken breast. It kind of comes in like, the picture shows it. Let's see if I can show you this right now. The picture shows it as kind of like in these circle medallion type of things. Anyway, I don't like that one because I find it to be aggressively salty. Now, I eat a lot of salt, but for some reason, I just want to salt it myself. And probably I want to do it that way because I'm using really high quality salt. So that's that. Some of y'all might be interested in the Roti Roti rotisserie chicken thigh pieces. I don't prefer dark meat, but it's very minimal seasoning. It's got some rendered chicken fat, garlic, paprika, chili powder, onion. So if you can handle spices, the rotisserie chicken thigh pieces might make you happy. I just don't like dark meat chicken. I'm very boring like that. I'm a white girl. I like white meat. Okay. The bacon and cheddar beef burgers are great, but you can make your own for cheaper. The tavern beef burgers are great. They have none of this stuff has seed oils, guys. That's one of the reasons I like Hungryroot. You're not going to deal with that. So beef, salt, Worcestershire sauce, yeah. Okay, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, white pepper, done. So it does have like a little anchovy in the, because Worcestershire, that is one of the worst words ever created, FYI. Worcestershire sauce. It has distilled white vinegar, anchovies, garlic, molasses, onion, salt, water, chili pepper, cloves, natural flavoring, tamarind extract, blah, blah, blah. So this is a less clean burger, but it is pretty tasty. They've got Plainville Farm sliced maple honey ham. It's okay. I prefer the chicken or the turkey breast, honestly. You can get your uncured pepperoni slices, guys. High quality, nice little pepperonis. to throw on that carnivore pizza if you like. They also have a lovely burrata and a really lovely Rumiano mozzarella bar, like a bar of mozzarella cheese that you could use for that too. Bison stew meat, wild sockeye salmon fillets with the skin on, wild albacore tuna steaks, and smoked ahi tuna if you want that thin sliced ahi. And then, some various other cuts of steak, shrimp. I'm just going to mention my two last favorite things. So, maple bourbon pork bacon. Does that just make you want to get married? I don't know about you, but I want to get married to this bacon right now. Okay. So here's the thing. In the ingredients list, it lists 1 gram of sugar. Okay. So if you're trying to be super clean, this isn't for you. But it's such a minimal amount of sugar, as with many bacons, which are kind of cured, right? The way they're cured, there's a little sugar involved. All I know is it is ever so mildly sweet, and you do get that little hint of bourbon. You guys, this bacon is so delicious. It's like candy. But it does, and I don't mean that in the sense of it's overly sweet. It does have a little sweetness to it, but it's not like, I just mean candy in the sense of it's as satisfying as a Snickers previously would have been to me. Okay. Can't recommend the Blackford's Premium Maple Bourbon Pork Bacon. Can't recommend it enough. It's totes tasty. Okay. You get some Genoa salami, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here is my final favorite thing. The Teton, Teton Waters uncured beef hot dogs. You guys, these are the tastiest beef hot dogs I've ever had. They're so good. They taste so pure, because they are. Highly recommend. Love them, love them. I make little slices in them, and then I throw them in the air fryer for a few minutes until they're like crispy on the outside and like tender inside. And I do use a little ketchup. I love ketchup. It's good. I only use a small amount though. Don't crucify me. I'm sorry. That's very inappropriate. Forgive me, Lord. Okay. Roasted garlic chicken. I've never had that one. That's a Kevin's Natural Foods. It might be good. I don't know. You can get a charcuterie trio, like snack pack with equal amounts of salami, pepperoni, and prosciutto. So that could be fun for you. They have large scallops. They have a couple of pre-seasoned ground beefs, but you get half the amount you get if you just get the plain ground beef. So now it's less expensive, but they do a Mexican style ground beef and an Italian style ground beef and an Indian style ground beef. They also have fish wife albacore tuna in some olive oil, if you're interested in that. Some various sausages. I have to admit, I don't love their sausage. I've tried a couple of them. I wasn't impressed. Okay, moving on. Dairy and eggs. If you're feeling super lazy, guys, they have the liquid eggs, the pasture-raised liquid eggs, whole eggs, and egg whites. They got little snack packs of 2 hard-boiled eggs for your on-the-go days. They have creamy sliced Havarti, and this Havarti cheese is the creamiest and dreamiest, and it's super thin sliced, and it's quite tasty if you have cheese in your diet. Give it a shot. My favorite cheeses in this scenario are, let me scroll down and find it. They make these little Bel Giosso Parmesan bite snacks, the dry aged Parmesan. So much protein. I love a dry aged cheese. It so hits the spot, and they're like a great snack. Like, take one of those in a beef stick, you're done. Okay. So you can have those. They have this slow churn, Three Little Pigs brand slow churn pasture butter. It's kind of a small amount, and they are very heartily salted, but they make a pure one and they make a lemon and peppercorn one, which would be great to float a tablespoon on like a leaner cut of steak, right? Rumiano organic sharp cheddar, Rumiano organic mozzarella cheese bar, the egg life wraps that I talked about a lot. By the way, when I was telling you about my little breakfast wraps the other day, guys, how I do eggs, a little sausage, a little cheese in there, I forgot to tell you I put them in the air fryer. I don't like the squish on its own. They're too squishy. But steak and butter gal taught me this. If you put them in the air fryer, they get crispity on the outside and they're really good. So do that. You can get, yeah, those Parmesan. It's called Bel Gioso Parmesan Power Full Snacking Cheese. It is so good, you guys. So don't sleep on that. And lastly, you can get your Daisy sour cream in the little squeeze tube if you need some sour cream. And then they have the Le Gruyere AOP Gruyere cheese, and it's just a lovely, rich, European, exotic, tasty, nutty, satisfying cheese that is raw milk and very good for you, not pasteurized. Okay, that's all I have to say about dairy and eggs. We're getting along here, so I'm going to go over to snacks. Now, the only reason I ever go over to snacks is they've got some meat sticks for you and some turkey jerky for you, couple of, and parm crisps, the oven baked parm crisps. So they do have some carnivore friendly snacks in there. Beef stick pack, a 5-pack, and all of the beef stick things and the grass fed beef jerky they have, the carne asada, they're all pretty clean. You can get some good carnivore snacks in here. Okay. Lastly, if you do any produce, sometimes in the past I've done like chicken salad or like turkey slices and cheese in just a leaf of romaine lettuce as my bread. Or I like to add scallions to my chicken salad. So, or sometimes I'm eating avocado. I'm not right now, but I will probably put avocados back in my diet at some point because they're super healthy fat. And I think fruit is our friend. I really do. Vegetables, I'm not so convinced, but fruit I think is our friend. Drinks, they have a really tasty leisure hydration electrolyte refresher. The mango is super tasty. It's not caffeinated. It's an electrolyte thing. It's got some extra vitamins and minerals in there, and it's sweetened with stevia, and it's so good, you guys. Leisure hydration. I'm going to show you tropical mango electrolyte refresher. So this one I definitely recommend. It's pretty tasty. I also find this website, you can get your Stumptown cold brew, nitro cold brew too, if you're into coffee. And that's just clean, no stuff in it. But yeah, if you are into convenience, you want groceries delivered to your door, you don't want to have to go to the store, you want to save time. Really money-wise, unless you live in a very thrifty state. I'm in California, so everything's expensive here, but it's a little less or the same as what it would cost me to go to buy the same things in the grocery store. I've done price comparisons extensively on all these things. Occasionally they have sales and deals on things, and they'll have a special category for that for you. And then I'll go lastly, guys, and we're almost wrapped up, so thanks for bearing with this long one. If you go to Pantry, they do have some nice spice mixes in single packets, so you can try them, like a blackened seasoning for salmon. Again, this is only for those of you out there using spices still. Sauces and condiments, same thing. If you like the occasional sauce or condiment, you can get some things that are decently friendly. I recently found this one I'm going to describe to you in just a moment as soon as I find it. It is... Where is it? Dang it. Where's my sauce? Oh, it's in my cart. Should be in my cart. Yeah, okay. Herby tahini dressing and drizzle. Okay. So no seed oils, no added sugar. What's in this sauce is tahini, which is ground sesame seeds, lemon juice, filtered water, some dates, cilantro, extra virgin olive oil, garlic, basil, sea salt, jalapeno pepper, avocado oil, and coriander. Now, obviously, if you're eating super clean carnivore, this is not for you. But if you're still kind of in that transition zone and you need a little excitement in your life, 7 grams of fat, only 4 grams of carbs for 2 whole tablespoons. Probably with this sauce, you're going to drizzle 1 tablespoon on, right? And there's still 2 grams of protein in it, and sesame seeds are loaded with iron. So that could be your friend. But yeah, guys, that pretty much concludes our carnivore tour through Hungryroot. You can go aisle by aisle, great customer service to your door. I've never had a problem with the freshness or the, of my delivery. A lot of these items freeze really well. The thing I order the most from them is their grass-fed ground beef, the 8515. And because it's slightly lower in fat, sometimes I'll just add a knob of butter in there, if you're needing a little more fat. But check out Hungryroot if you're looking for just some yummy, convenient carnivore options. Occasionally, I probably order from them once a month, and I do it according to my schedule. So maybe that's you too. Maybe it's not all the time, or maybe you're like rolling in cash and it ain't no thing, kidney bean, to order fancy grocery delivery every week of your life. If that's you, more power to you. Or if you have a big family and kids, and it's a lot easier to have some pre-cooked proteins come into your door, give them a try. They have a kids aisle too, and there's some things in there that you might actually want to feed your kids. So they have some meat and cheese snacks, things like that, some kid-friendly items in there. So anyway, guys, I hope this helped, and the Hungryroot journey is complete. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and continue on, brave soldiers, and rock out this carnivore journey. It can be done. And there's little things like this that can make our lives easier, happier, and more fun. Okay, thanks again. Bye, guys. Have a great night.